The official patch notes for the May 29th update just got released. And if you just downloaded the update, check your inbox in-game to collect the rewards that they give you for the small delay. Many of these things are great changes to the gameplay, and we'll go over it line by line, and I'll add some of my thoughts to it. So slam dunk that like button and let's get into it. So we'll start from the top. Championship Chase Patch Notes Addendum. If you don't know what addendum means, it basically means extra notes. They had some notes before, but it was just very general. So these are just going to more of the specifics. Hey Ballers, the Championship Chase update on May 29 included a number of community requested balance adjustments, as well as some of the changes to gameplay mechanics. Thank you for your patience while we populate this Patch Notes Addendum. 1. New mechanics. Absolute open shots. If there are no defenders within 5 meters or 16.4 feet when taking an open shot, an additional field goal percentage boost is granted. If there are no defenders within 3 to 5 meters or 9 to 16 feet, a slight additional field goal boost is granted. The higher the player's shooting attribute, the greater the bonus, which can reach up to a maximum of 100%. No bonus is granted if player's shooting attribute is below 500. I believe this is to help balance out the teams that run too fast bigs and offer double team soft help to the person with the ball. It is kind of annoying how that's the big meta right now in the high ranks, and I'm glad that this is being added to punish the teams running too fast bigs that can each help the guard defending his guard to prevent the ankle break. We all know them, AD, Giannis, and they can always provide soft double team on the defensive side. It'll keep them more honest to defend their original man. The second part for the new mechanics is quick pass. If the receiver is in an open position when a pass occurs, a quick pass might be triggered with probability depending on the passer's passing attributes. The receiver gets a 10% field goal bonus for 3 seconds after a quick pass. Wow, so that's actually paired up with this absolute open shot. So the passer will give the receiver a boost, and if the receiver has no players around him, they'll more likely make that shot now. The new players like Sengun and Halliburton with their passing buffs, this will help spread out the floor even more, and this will prevent that constant double team pressure by the ADs and Giannis's all game. And number 2 in the patch notes update, new skills. First one is baseline dunk. Gain the ability to perform a reverse dunk from the baseline. Players with baseline dunk level 1 will be Randall, Tatum, Butler, Davis, Wemby, Jaylen Brown, De'Aaron Fox, and Mitchell. And then players with baseline dunk level 2, Ja Morant, Zion, LeBron James, and Giannis. So I know sometimes when you drive down the baseline to go for a dunk, it somehow makes it into a layup, and that's easier to contest than a dunk. So I'm glad that this is being added. Next new skill is Flashy Pass Level 2. Flashy Pass Level 2 offers additional passing moves from more angles than Flashy Pass Level 1. Will be Luka, Jokic, LaMelo, Tyrese Halliburton, and Sabonis. So depending on where these players are looking at on the court with the ball, they can execute these special passes, and these passes especially combined with their flashy pass and their other passing abilities. And on top of that, you have the quick pass update here. And also, if the receiver is open, there's a higher chance for the ball to go in. So passing will definitely play a big role into this upcoming update. Next new skill is backing down hop step. Gain the ability to activate backing down hop step while in the post up by pulling the joystick in any direction and holding the crossover button. Players with the backing down hop step will be Luka, Booker, Butler, DeRozan, Embiid, and Murray. Next new skill is moving step back action package. Gain the ability to activate moving step back by pulling the left joystick down, which is also the directional pad, and tapping the crossover button during a fast dribble. Players with moving step back action package is Curry, Irving, Luka, Harden, Lillard, Trey, SGA, Murray, and Devin Booker. The third part of this update is game modes, and for ranked 3v3 mode, they added a new wheel select pass feature. You can change that in the settings menu. They also said that the 3v3 jump ball position moved to inside the 3-point line, basically around the free throw line, and it'll need to be cleared at the 3-point line, whoever wins the jump ball. And here's a very controversial one. If your matchmaking rank is above superstar, the same player cards can no longer be picked by any team. And I say it's controversial because if you just main one player, it could be bad. And I think as this game develops with more events and more players, and on top of that we have Hoop Hustle and the Dynasty mode that's continuing to improve, I think getting multiple players that you main, especially in different positions, will be unavoidable. Some of us since global launch only mained 1 to 2 players, but I think as more events come in and more opportunities to gain rewards. We'll be looking at different positions to develop your 5-man roster. And now with this new update, you cannot pick the same player on each team. So whoever locks it in first gets that player for the whole match. The other team cannot pick that same player if he picks after you. I like where this is going. I think it's very important to start expanding your player base and player knowledge. This forces you to pick a second player now. And ever since global launch, everyone was just experimenting, trying to find the right players that best fits their personality. And once you found that person, you put all your resources to getting duplicates. But now I think we're at a point, especially with new events coming up, new ways to collect rewards, the new players coming in, this will encourage you to learn new players, which I think is great for the game's growth. This might be a hard transition, especially if you've been maining only one player, but I like to see the mix up, especially at the high ranks. And I know this has a small ripple effect among your team, but that just adds more to the diversity of the games that you play. Because we all know at the high ranks, the top 200 players, it's just running the same team composition, the same players. So now this gives more variety into each game that you go into. And it's a good middle ground to start having these games different. I think the biggest short-term issue with this pick banning system is that not a lot of players have secondary backup cards that can compete against the high-ranked main cards that a lot of people are playing right now. I feel like more new cards need to be introduced to help compete against these cards, and I think it's headed towards the right direction in experimenting and trying different ways to mix it up, basically. Mix it up, because every 3v3 match can feel repetitive for a lot of people, and I like that there's things being done to try to mix it up for us. And I know you may feel that this new pick ban system is personally attacking you, but keep in mind it's also affecting the other team too. So as you play more matches, you're guaranteed to see different cards, even if you get queued at the same time with the same players. I think the hardest part of the transition for many players will be that what if one player has, let's say, a maxed out AD, and it's very tough to go against them. For example, the #1 player in North America, he has maxed out AD, and 99% of the other players do not have the same high ranked AD or high ranked cards that can help defend them. That's a fair argument. I don't have a solution for it, and I think as more cards enter the game, we'll see some mix up, maybe some balancing, I don't know. But keep in mind, if your team has an AD, your team could pick AD first, and then the other team will not be able to pick AD. So over the span of like 10 matches, it should be pretty equal. We'll still need more time playing with this new feature in the picking stage. I personally enjoy seeing a variety of players on the courts, not just the top 5 players or whatever, and I hope that this mixes it up. And I know it's just an advantage for the first pick, and I think they're smart enough to know how to keep it balanced over sets of like 10, 20, even 100 games, where each side will not get their best players banned right away. And for all the game modes, we'll see that pick and roll is no longer allowed while in the paint. I'll show a small video of the zone where you cannot set a screen basically. I think this is a good change. I remember sometimes when I tried to go for the box out, it would instead do a screen down low, and then that'll just mess up my box out opportunity for the rebound. So great addition. Next one for all the modes, a standing dunk under the basket now requires holding down the shoot button for a longer time. If the defender is in the jumping animation, the dunk is considered uncontested. So the standing dunk is getting another nerf. It's going to be harder to do that. I've been burned by standing dunks as a defender. I fall for every pump fake. I can't get that steal off. And you guys tell me, oh, just bump into him while you're holding the guard button. That doesn't work for me either. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I feel like I tried every way to block it, and it just somehow the dunker wins most of the time. And if I'm having trouble with it, I know other people are having trouble with it. So this will help keep the gameplay on the court more fair. And they also slightly lowered the success rates of defended alley-oop dunks. This is something that a lot of people brought up in the live streams. I did feel that the success rate decreased. I noticed that the ball goes in the air more after an attempted dunk from alley-oops, but I thought that's just because people are timing alley-oops better and can better defend it. But I guess they did slightly lower it, and that sounds good because every high ranked, you're either, most of the games you'll see an AD or a Giannis, and it's just alley-oop city, especially if they get into their rhythms. So making it better for the defender to go for the blocks and contest these alley-oops just makes the game overall just more fair again, just like the standing dunk. I'll also have an updated alley-oop video tutorial, so make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay tuned when that video gets released. And now with the bug fixes, they fixed an issue where some shooting effects were unusable. They also fixed an issue where player cards could not be purchased after obtaining a trial player card. And they also added a new left-handed post-up shot animation for left-handed players. Oh, I can't wait to test that out. And if you haven't seen the Sengun video. Check out my recent videos. Şengün post up beast, especially with the passing. I feel like a lot of these updates is in prep for these new players. We got some passing, especially for the pass first type of guards, to get some buffs. Also the quick pass bonus and the absolute open shot bonus. I think we're going to see more ball movement, hopefully. So hopefully this encourages more team play. One of my ongoing concerns is how do metas develop and evolve? And I feel like having these updates with the added moves and the passing and the absolute open shots, especially the matchmaking above superstar where the same cards cannot be played, I feel like it's just the beginning. Having people pick different players, giving variety to the matches, passing bonuses to some key players like Luka, Kitch, LaMelo, Tyrese, and whoever they're passing to also gets a boost. I feel like that's something that's been missing. We're going to see a lot of new players come in with these type of boosts, and I feel like this will give more variety into every game that you play. I think this update is one of many to come in the future, and I think it's headed towards the right direction to create an overall healthy growth for this game. I know there's a lot of people who are negative about it. I'm no longer paying attention to them anymore. There's just a lot of negativity among the players. And I still believe there's so much potential in this game. I know that there's people in the community that are just trying to start riots and just make a mess of things. And as a gamer myself, I am with you. And I know that the devs have your best interest in mind. Keep giving them feedback through the feedback forums. Don't just go on blasting everybody on their Discord in the comments section. That doesn't do anything except just bring people down. And just some word of advice, let's keep the toxicity and negativity to a minimum if possible. I see it, I hear it, and it's besides attacking the game and attacking everybody in it, I know there's some provocateurs, people who are trying to incite negativity, and I'm just tired of it, you know, and I'm just really tired of it. And I get the DMs about people telling me to keep going and keep pushing, and don't worry, I'm in it for the long run here. I think it's one of the best mobile basketball games ever. I never had so much fun playing a mobile basketball game like on NBA Infinite. Thanks for everybody for the positivity. I know whenever people try to bring down the vibes through the comments or the Discord or wherever, trust us, we're just as the Courtside creators and the devs are just as passionate about the game as you. There's nothing more I want to say right now. I might dedicate this to a separate video. It's just that people just see a small fire and just want to make it in, and they just want to watch the whole forest burn down for whatever reason. That can only get you so far. All right, that's it, guys.